And here we're coming to the next point where I see with most of the executives a lack of understanding for the companies they're working for.
Yeah.
Namely, most of them, and I would go here for Pareto with 80-20, do not know the value chains of the company.
Important word.
So in other words, how does the company I'm manager there or a board member there, yeah? How do we earn our money? And not on a level, let's saying, well, we are a bank, we are selling loans, yeah? No, I'm really talking about the value chain.
Yeah, value chain is something we need to go into greater detail because I think a lot of people have heard it, but they don't really know what it means. I think, and we're going to go into depth what it means as an executive to have a vision. Vision is always at the top. I don't know if you've ever heard this statistic, but it's one of my favorite statistics that I picked up also from Harvard Business School. There was an article that I read 100 years ago where, actually no, it was from Stephen Covey that I read this from. He said that he did a questionnaire with a lot of the senior executives that he worked with. Mm-hmm. And the standard question was, do you guys have a vision? And do you have a mission? And they were like, of course we do. By the way, I still ask this question of a lot of my clients today, right? And then you might ask, do they have principles and values and stuff like that? And so of course we do. And then the next question was, well, how many of your employees actually know what it is, right? Now, this was a long time ago before there was internet. So, nowadays you just Google it, right? And the executive said, yeah, I'm like a minimum of 90% of our staff eat, breathe, sleep our mission and vision. It's the most essential thing,
of course,
there is. At least this was in the 90s, people used to say this, right? And then they did a questionnaire with the employees, and like 15% of them actually knew what the vision of the mission was. Okay? Mm-hmm. Which I think is a powerful statement. I think the real problem is not that people, I think the number one complaint that I hear about staff members, about their executives, is they don't see them, they don't feel them, and they don't know where they're going. Mm-hmm. That's the purpose. That's this, Nelly, what was the wonderful word that you used? The business mystic. This ethereal quality to be like, when everybody is in doubt, to say, no, I got your back. Trust me, this is where we're going. And I think people also politically are looking for that, even if the people who are telling them that they have a vision don't know where they're going. The second element, which I think is going to lead in also to our portfolio thought, when you're talking about value changes like this is my second criteria, is they're the business keepers. They're the caretakers of an institution, of a corporation, which means they have fiscal, financial responsibility.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, and this is short term, but also midterm and long term, the job of an executive, regardless of what they know or do not know, is to observe, control, monitor, and steer a company in such a direction that it makes money at the end of the year.
Exactly.
And I would say, in reality, I think, in my opinion, unless you have something you would want to add, I think those are the two key responsibilities of an executive.
I would like to amend something what you just said. Yeah, you were talking just about vision and mission. The interesting experience I make quite often is if I come into a new company and are going to talk about the mission and vision with the executive, it is very often the case that they mix both up.
It happens all the time.
So
what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah.
Yes, but not also what comes up first, but also about the understanding what is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give it? You want to give it a shot?
Yes.
Because I think this would be valuable to the viewers.
And I would invite everybody. Yeah. Go to famous companies who have their mission and vision statements in the internet, and look them up if the definition I'm bringing right now fits to what you're going to read there. And I will have a bet that most of them you will read there will not comply with what I'm saying. Now you could say, well, I'm simply wrong. Yes, this would be, let's say, a possibility. But I'm just claiming the definitions that had done by the guys who developed the Balanced Scorecard, so Kaplan, Norton, and Merton, who did as I think, a very good definition of it. Yeah. So what is the definition? The definition is, they say the mission statement tells you why the company exists. So why does it need the company? Yeah, this is the mission statement. In comparison, the vision statement always has a precise point in time in the future where describe how you expect the company.
What is the future state?
You mean how long the period is?
No, isn't vision like, and I think vision is a lot of people feel it also, a vision has to be that's kind of how you're saying, there has to be a fixed milestone. I don't know if visions always hit a direct milestone. I think they keep moving out. But the idea is, if we look at where we are today, where are we going to be in the future? That for me, and painting a picture of what we're going to feel like, look like, and be like.
Coming back to Steve Jobs. Yeah. There was a vision of Apple. I don't know the year by heart. Yeah. But he said by the year, it was somewhere in the 1990s, we are the leading company in bringing new IT. Yeah, that's how he defined it in those days. And look what he did. Yeah. He was one of the rare persons taking this vision, bringing it to the whole staff, and then breaking it down in strategic steps, saying, okay, what do we need to do to achieve this goal?
See, what you're alluding to is exactly this whole purpose, because portfolio management and program management and project management is the roadmap to achieving it. I think also Steve Jobs, this is also a quote that supposedly comes from him, I love it. When he was once fired from Apple and came back, I forget who the CEO was that got him fired. I think he came from HP or something.
Honestly, I don't remember it as well.
But and when Steve Jobs came back after being fired, he gloriously sat in his office, and with a certain amount of humor, he said he reflected on why they had to bring him back, and he said, the problem with most senior managers and executives, they think that the idea is 90% of the work. And that's what the problem with a lot of visions. A lot of people say, all I have to do is write a vision and then just put it underneath my pillow, and while I sleep at night, it's going to realize itself. And I think what we're going to be talking about to a great extent, also using the Balanced Scorecard method, is if you look at the organization as a pyramid, the vision is at the top, although you can argue if it's mission or vision first, right? Then mission. You're still, as important and as valuable as I think they're essential. I think you need them. But the other opposite side of vision and mission is they're still hot air.
Of course.
Until you convert them, right? Until you say, okay, what's our strategy? What are our strategy blocks? And then you start defining program. Now we're talking project management. Then you start defining programs, and you start defining projects that are operationally, those are the operational puzzle pieces to realize your big puzzle.